Listen close.
Funny that you say that, because there's always been told there's this secret beef between Jersey and New York, and I don't believe it. I think maybe the industry may have started it, but I know Brooklyn has a love affair with Newark. That's crazy. Tell me about your change from the Bronx to New Jersey and how that went for you, and how that affected your hip hop eye or ear.
I'm gonna be so real. I've had this conversation before. I think the thing is that when I got older, what I realized was that like the Bronx is a staple for like rappers, certain rappers. Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, Rakim, these certain names we grew up with, EPMD, you automatically put New York in the Bronx, right? So I'm gonna show you how it happened. What happened was those groups started getting their own artists, and those artists were coming from Jersey. So now you got Redman, you got Lords of the Underground, and then another thing too is that when you think about it, a lot of those groups were signed by way of New York. Nobody was in that time. Nobody wasn't really. Lords of the Underground came through with Marley Marl, which he was already established with.
Juice Crew.
The Juice Crew,
His crew.
the Jive Records, right?
Yeah.
It was Jive Records. Redman came in by way of EPMD, Def Jam. Queen Latifah came in by way with Shakim and them, but it came from New York. It was always a hand from New York that pulled even the Fugees. You could do the Fugees. You could do. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting some people. I mean, but it was always by the way of the hand of New York, right? But I will say this: what I noticed, even Roxanne Shante. I remember when I first moved to Newark, one of the people who I saw famous to me was like Roxanne Shante. She used to live in Society Hill. And on any given day, you could see anybody in front, Bismarcky, Cool V, Marley Marl, TJ Swan, somebody. Back to what I was saying, one thing I will say is that it's the lyricism. I've always said Jersey, we got the best lyricists. We have the best lyricists with the metaphors and the style. New York is thorough with bars and everything else, but I think that's where it came from. It came like by way of the end of the 90s, because we started seeing where a lot of Jersey was blowing up. We had Lords of the Underground, we had Faith Evans, you had the Fugees, you had Redman, you had all these dope artists was coming from by way of Jersey. Naughty by Nature, how could you forget Naughty by Nature? Runtin' Rascals, and that's another thing too. And then East Orange is like a whole nother town from Newark. So now you got even another addition. You got Newark and you got East Orange. But to answer your question, Karev, it's like, I feel that it started from a lyrical perspective, and even a producer maybe perspective, not too much, maybe a DJ perspective, because Scratch was from New York, but DJ Cheese was right here in Plainfield, and DJ Cheese was like one of the top DJs that won the DJ battle. So New York and Jersey always been cousins. Always been like, they not brothers, but they, like cousins, But yeah, I hope I answered it.
No, you did, because I mean, we want to erase that stigma.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that New York hates Jersey because of the Sugar Hill Records thing.
Yeah, I can't forget about that.
I mean, I get it, but that's really corny.
That's corny and it's personal, because whatever Miss Sylvia was doing, as far as like, I don't know, but I've heard about certain like contracts or whatever, blah 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 with the Sugar Hill label. But at the end of the day, I mean, she did do something like amazing. You know what I mean? Yeah. But when you love your town, like I came from the Bronx, I love New York, I really do. But I got so much of a deep love for Newark. It's not even funny. For Jersey, it's not even funny, man.
Okay, so let's kind of skip around right now, because we're in like the late 80s and early 90s to mid 90s. Hip hop in New Jersey changed when Wu Tang dropped.
I can agree with that. Yes.
How do you say so?
Because I remember when I heard Wu Tang, the first Wu Tang joint I heard was Stretch Barbito. Stretch Barbito piece, they right there in New York too. It was Wu Tang, but it was also Redman. You gotta we gotta give Red the props, and when you think about it, right? Method Man is like the Redman of Wu Tang. at that time. If you know, with the smoke thing, the smoke bars about smoking and whatever, but that was the shift. That was the shift when Wu Tang was introduced to hip hop by way of Stretch and Barbito and whatever else they was doing right there on Staten Island. Now that's crazy too, because technically Staten Island is like next door to Jersey. You know, like it's right there. So I agree with that. I will agree with that. That wow, you just took me back just now. Yeah. I remember the first, like I said, my boy Dreadful hit me up, put me on to Wu Tang. So yo, you gotta check the song out, whatever, blah blah blah. And it was Stretch and Barbito show, and they played Protect Your Neck, and I went nuts. I never heard nothing like that in my life. And all those rappers like that, how many is there? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like 20 of them dudes. But yeah, I do agree with you.
In
correct.
Jersey, I think Protect Your Neck is what made Jersey step the bars up, because they already have bars. Because when you had a 9-man crew, people was like, I could do that. And that's where that, okay, they doing it, we could do it too thing. Because even Staten Island has some pockets of it has a little thing against Jersey, which I need to understand that a little bit more too.
I will never understand that. I will never understand that, because Staten Island is known because of Wu Tang. I'm pretty sure somebody else comes to it. I can't put my finger on it right now, but yeah, that's crazy. I've never got a hold of that one.
It doesn't even matter, because when you saw the shift to hip hop change, and you're in Jersey now around this time, right?
Absolutely.
How did you evolve into a purveyor of hip hop rather than a person who just you didn't just live it, you actually started doing it, so your vision changed. How did that change for you?
Let me first say this. One of the first dude who I met that was like one of my best friends at that time was Mr. Cream from Gilla House. And I guess being around him, along with, I met a gentleman who I always shout out all the time, but I met a brother by the name of Govmatic. And I could honestly say it was Gov. It was Gov and his brothers, because it was Gov, it was Runt, it was Wayne Danger, and it was Swanee. Can't forget Stigger. What up, Stigger? Those dudes, I call them my forefathers of what I got going on. The Buddha monk, you know, whatever, how I birthed myself into, you know, this Buddha monk stuff. It came from Brick Mob, yo. It came from Gov. It wasn't even Red. It came from Govmatic, yo. Govmatic and them brothers. And Sig Knock, can't forget Sig, shout out to Sig. Yo, yes, that to answer your question, it was Govmatic, and they was even different. The way they rapped, the way they chopped up their bars, their delivery, that funk shit. Yo, I fell in love with them niggas, bro. I fell in love. To me, at that time, because Diesel Don was another one. You know, Diesel Don and Gov was doing their thing at that time. But it was totally them, bro. It was totally them. Me and Mr. Cream and a few other brothers from New Community, we wound up starting a rap group. And we was kind of like the Wu Tang of New Community at that time. We was deep. We was like 10 deep, because my cousin from the Bronx, my cousin D, what up? D Anger, what up? And we started bringing my cousin started coming in to visit Newark, and they from the Bronx too. So my cousin and his crew started, yo, it grew like crazy. Shout out to Chaos. He go by the name of the Druid. Up in East Orange. K, we met K, and we was like the little Wu Tang of, I want to say, I guess our vicinity. I'm not gonna say Essex County, because it was Zoo Crews, and at that time too, it was like the Zoo Crew. Yeah, it was Wu Tang. You absolutely right. Cause now that I think about it, the Zoo Crew came out, and it started being like a crew thing. You know what I mean? A crew thing. Wow, yeah. I hope I answered the question.
Nah, it's cool, because part of what I wanted to talk to you about was Brick Mob. Cause Brick Mob, if anybody doesn't know who Brick Mob is, you got some serious homework to do.
Yo.
And we ain't even gonna go long on this part, because we got other parts of this interview. But Heritage Hip Hop was partly built upon the memory of Govmatic.
Wow.
You know
Oh, yeah,
that's my man. You know what I'm saying?
What's good,
Now, he introduced me to Gov. And I remember the first conversation me and Gov had, I was like, yo, how How you getting your money, bro? Let's get on this tune core shit. Let's get you my man. I love your music, bro. Let's make it happen. And that's where our conversations first started. To even when I was hearing tracks that never came out, I was like, oh my God, this is so dope. What's going on? And
funky.
It was like the game wasn't open at the time. And a lot of people didn't come to teach the game or give the game. And unfortunately, it took Govmatic to pass away for heritage hip hop to move the way it is moving now. Because like my partner tell you, I've been trying to get Govmatic on camera to talk with him, and unfortunately, I missed my opportunity.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? And when we talk about legends in Jersey and Jersey hip hop, we could talk about Zoo Crew, we could talk about Double I, we could talk about all of them.
Mike C, Forbidden
Mike
Fruit.
C, you could talk about Swanee. And you know, if you know them, if you know Swanee, you know Double S.
Yes.
You know Shaw Skills and Shaw Bourne.
Oh, yeah.
Elizabeth Ave.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's a lot of stories to be told. I want to end this part of the interview on this. From seeing the fruit that Jersey was given, what makes Jersey hip hop so special to you?
Like I said before, Jersey hip hop is special because we have our own thing. We always had our own thing. You could hear it. You could hear it in the music. You could hear it on the Lord's album. You could hear it on the Redman album. You could hear it on Queen Latifah's album. You could hear it on King's Son album. Twin Hype. Lakim Shabazz and DJ C Just, who I got to shout out, who I used to go visit because I used to date his daughter. DJ C Just and Lakim Shabazz was right there on Howard Street when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, it makes it special for me personally because I feel like I came up right in the cusp of when everything was just formulating and coming together. But to answer your question as straight as possible as I can is that we have always had our own vibe. Jersey, we've always have our. It's not New York. You could tell a Jersey joint from a New York joint easily. If you do the research, go 90s, you could hear it. So that's what makes Jersey special. And then too, like, hip hop is blessed, but let's not forget about the Whitney Houstons, the James Moody, Sarah Vaughan. Like you can't, that's part of that too. You know what I'm saying? It's just raw dog over here. You know what I mean? So to me, that's what makes Jersey, special.